You are not a beautiful and unique snowflake. You're the same decaying organic matter as everyone. And we are all part of the same compost pile. Hi everyone, welcome to the 10th episode of Sip with Sydney. This is Zelda, and here we have lots of fun. Okay, so before we get into the drink, the idiom or slang of the day that we're going to introduce to everyone is snowflake. Is Zelda not sitting properly? Sorry.
It's okay. She looks happy.
She looks happy?
She looks happy.
So that quote I just introduced was from Fight Club, the 1996 version. And today we're going to introduce snowflake as a term because we were talking about whether there was a similar term to 玻璃心, fragile glass heart in Mandarin. And the closest thing we could find was snowflake. But before we get into the whole episode, let's talk about what we're having today for drinks, all right? And before we get here, please like and subscribe. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe up there. All right, so Alvin.
Yes?
You see what we have today?
We're having Asian pigeon wing or whatever you call it.
It's called Asian pigeon wing, and it's also called butterfly pea. Because when this is not dry, apparently it looks like a pea and a butterfly wing, and the only thing I know about this is that kids love these because they give this wonderful blue pigmentation that looks very chemical in drinks. Alright, so what I have here today is some 蝶豆花, which is the butterfly pea.
Butterfly pea. Because it looks like a butterfly and it's from the pea family.
Is it?
Yes,
oh, I didn't
that's
know
the
that.
reason why.
Okay, so Asian pigeon wing. I have some of these, and then I have some hot water, a nice glass cup, and I have something from Sydney's mom. Handmade 爱玉. How do you say 爱玉 in English?
爱玉 is the only 爱玉 is like the one and only in the world. It's actually kind of thick.
I know.
But it's only available in Taiwan. It's
really?
Yes, okay.
Oh, wow.
Because for other regions, for other kinds of figs, you just dry the figs and then you eat the fruit. But for a Taiwanese fig or this jello fig, you actually wash the seeds and then it gives you you get the extract, you have the substance, and then you make jello out of it.
So it's fig jello.
Yes, it's fig jello.
Fig jello.
Fig jello,
fig
well
jello.
put.
Alright, so I have handmade fig jello from my mom. It's ironic because when I went to get the pigeon wings, the lady asked me if I wanted to buy fig seeds to make jello, and I was like, too lazy for that. And when I walk in, my mom has these handmade and prepared.
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom. And then we have some lime juice over here for seasoning, and some of Alvin's very precious. What is this?
Mineral rock candy.
Mineral rock candy. How is rock candy different with or without minerals?
I don't know. Okay, I think the mineral, if it's crude and raw, then you have more minerals in it. But when it's more refined, you have higher percentage of sugar, but then less minerals.
Interesting. All right, so I'm just gonna sweeten this because it looks like it dissolves better in hot water.
Sure.
So
knock yourself out.
How much should I put inside for like a decent cup of?
Knock yourself out. Make it
diabetic.
Diabetic. Yes.
Make it diabetic.
Yes.
Okay. So put this back in. Leave it here, and then I'm gonna give this a very nice stir. Very zen.
Very.
Very zen. So the reason why snowflake seemed like a very interesting option to talk about today was because although as of today in modern English, like 玻璃心, like fragile heart, it usually refers to people who are overly sensitive sometimes to certain comments. But snowflake has a very different etymology and unique history behind it. Starting from the 1800s, people used the word snowflake to refer to white people who were upset with the abolishment of slavery, basically saying white people wanted slaves, and those people were referred to as snowflakes. Okay, so I have the sugar here. I'm gonna put back the filter over here so I don't make a mess. And then we're going to pop these in. Okay. So initially, I didn't know how well these were pigmented. And from what I'm seeing now,
You're using too many again.
no!
Yes.
No!
You'll see.
Okay, but it's still taking time to dye itself. So what we did was, so can I share this with them, what I did
Sure.
earlier?
Please.
So while this sits, what we did is, do you mind passing me the whole
Which one do you want?
the whole glass? So I initially made
That's a witch's dose.
I initially made a pot, and I was worried that it would take a while for this to develop the pigmentation. So I made a huge pot, and I basically put like a third of the pigeon wings flowers that we bought, and then it turned out this is not blue anymore. This is after I put more water inside whatever witch's broth I made, and it's actually purple, if not crimson, at this point.
It's seriously burgundy.
It's
So
Yeah.
serious.
and this is what happened after we tried to turn it into its original color. Do you mind passing?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And then we have this really nice glass of what it's supposed to look like after it's done.
Crystal blue.
Crystal blue. So we're going to leave this here for a bit while I continue to talk about snowflakes. So as we said earlier, initially it started in the 1800s in America when there was slavery, but later on it developed the connotation of someone who was overly focused on their uniqueness, and this usually meant the millennial generation, because a lot of self-help books at that time sort of emphasized on how everyone is a unique snowflake, very delicate and deserve of protection. And then other generations started to mock the millennials as snowflakes because they thought that they were so focused, and they held on so tightly to their identity as being unique that they were unable to deal with adult life in general. Okay, so the next step is I have this very nice cup that I stole from my mom again. And then what we're gonna do is
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom. I'm going to scoop some of the fig jelly. Look at that.
Yeah.
Why are you
It
giving me that
looks
face?
good.
You can see
I'm
that
having a better time than the time we had
doing what?
when we're doing boba.
Oh, come on, leave boba alone.
I can like fig jello.
You can like fig jello?
Mm.
All right, so look at this. So this is fig jello, and what I'm gonna do is I have some pre-squeezed lime. Shout out to Alvin, who went through all the labor to.
Which I juiced, cutting my hand.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, I'm gonna dump this
I
in.
hope it tastes of my blood.
You're disgusting. All right, and then I'm going to pop this in. Look at that blue. It's gonna take us a while to finish all of the tea we just made.
Yes.
And I just realized I forgot to put.
And then it turns into serious lavender.
And look, it turns into. Why? Is it because of the acid?
Yes.
Oh, nice. But I also forgot that this is actually the one with all the diabetic
Now
sugar.
it's part purple, part orange.
And we're gonna dump in the diabetic sugar inside.
And I bet we're going to have a third layer.
Why?
Not very obvious. The third layer doesn't stand out, but it's still very beautiful.
This looks really pretty.
Very.
Wow, look at that. It's kind of pinkish at the bottom, kind of peachy pink. And then you can see the jello.
Ladies and
things over here.
gentlemen, we have a new bartender, the magician of color, Sydney.
All right, cheers. Do you want to try first?
No, you go first.
Okay. It tastes just like Ayurveda.
I thought so.
It's nice though. I think this is such a great way to market it to people without, fusing chemicals in it, because this is a natural dye. Yeah. So back to the term snowflake. So as of today, recently, I think they sort of took another meaning during the 2016 presidential election in the United States, where the left was being called out to be too sensitive to many social political issues. And as of today, it just means that people are very fragile. But I think it's very important to talk about how it's kind of different from the term we use in Mandarin, 玻璃心, because when people say that you're fragile like glass, there's no sense of uniqueness in that connotation. We're not trying to allude to the fact that you're an individual cherishing your individuality, therefore being sensitive towards criticism. We're just saying that you're weak. And it's also nice to know that in our Asian identity, we don't tend to encourage people to express uniqueness. And that's a whole different conversation today in terms of different areas or different political topics. But that's why the word玻璃心 is so different from snowflake. So it's a little bit unfair to use them interchangeably. So I do have a question while I continue to sip. So Alvin, in which cases do you think you would refer to someone as a snowflake and someone else as like 玻璃心?
I don't, to be honest, I don't usually use either of them.
Why?
I don't know. I think being sensitive is a good thing. So it's I can't even recall if I ever used the term 玻璃心 or snowflake. And I think if you see something touching, you melt. That's a beautiful thing. So for me, snowflake is never a pejorative term. It sounds positive. Like you're very interactive with the whole environment, or like the what they say back in the romantic time, the imagination, the interaction between humans and nature.
And while he gave that very touching speech, I just turned our Asian pidgin thing into a Sicilian.
Now that color is unbecoming.
I wanted to try this like a fig jelly twist on a Sicilian coffee blend. It's not bad. It doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't look pretty.
I wouldn't drink it for the world.
Okay, you can drink the original one in that cup. Anyways, I agree with you on that side. But I kind of hate it because I'm a Pisces, and then every time you read online, Pisces are always labeled as fragile glass hearts or snowflakes. And it's really annoying because we're very empathetic. And the thing about Pisces is that we can actually tell if people are being mean or nice or being manipulative. We just choose to be nice because we like you. And then when our feelings are hurt, people are like, oh, you're so fragile, you're such a little snowflake. And you're like, no, I knew this was coming. I allowed myself to be hurt. And that's us being nice people. Yeah. So cheers to being happy snowflakes. And I think like if you identify as a snowflake or as someone that's sensitive, you should be very proud of it, because it just means that you are more in tune with your surroundings and you're more capable of giving love than other people.
True.
All right, this turned out to be way too wholesome for our taste, but yeah, I guess this is the end of the episode. I'm gonna use this
Thank you
instead to end it. Look at that, this beautiful non-chemical color. Do you want me to make you a cup? I have some lime left.
Yeah, I can go for the blue. Okay, I can go for the blue,
right,
but not the brown. Thank you.
So guys, while I say goodbye, I'm going to make Alvin a cup, and we'll see you guys next time. This is our 10th episode. We can't believe we are here at our 10th episode. And please like and subscribe if you would like to see us fool around more with these things. Bye!
Bye!